Thousands have gathered at Chennai's Rajaji Hall earlier in the day to bid farewell to M. Karunanidhi. A sea of supporters accompanying the procession from Rajaji Hall to Marina Beach. Among those who paid respects to the DMK Supremo were Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who flew in from New Delhi. Rajnikant, Kamal Hassan and other Tamil actors also paid homage to the veteran leader. Congress President Rahul Gandhi also visited Rajaji Hall. Annadurai Memorial, who mentored Karunanidhi, who was founder of Dalit movement, the Dravidian movement with Periyar, and under whose tenure Dravidian party for the first time came to power in 1967, and since then no national party has been able to find space there apart from ADMK, which broke away from DMK. Now, M.G. Ramachandran was Karunanidhi's protege. Late Chief Minister Jayalalitha was MGR's protege. They also lay buried along the Marina Beach. His son and political heir M.K. Stalin, who is the working president of DMK. Now, these are the live visuals streaming in from Marina Beach. So the procession has finally reached the spot. It's a long procession. It took a lot of time. It's started at 4 p.m. so it has taken 2 hours. It has roughly taken 2 hours to reach the place. You can see M.K. Stalin, Dayanidhi Maran, the former telecom minister, and I'm joined by my colleague Nishchita Virendra, who is reporting live from Chennai. Nishchita, it has taken 2 hours for the procession to reach the spot. Take us through the developments of the day and how's the situation in Chennai?
Well, it has definitely been a very emotional day for the people of Tamil Nadu, particularly the supporters of DMK as well as M. Karunanidhi. People who have seen his work, people who have been influenced by his very powerful literature, his dialogues, his writings, his speeches are the ones who have taken part in today's procession. And that is probably the reason why it has taken so much longer than anticipated. It was expected that when it exits the hall at around 4:30 p.m. when the mortal remains exit the hall, they will reach Marina Beach by around 5:30 p.m. and by 6:30 all the funeral rites were expected to get over, but that has not been the case due to massive crowds thronging right from where the mortal remains exited the hall, took in all around where they passed through the memorials of Annadurai, they passed through the memorials of other stalwarts of Tamil Nadu politics, and finally they have reached Marina Beach. And in just some time the funeral rites are expected to begin. It has been a long emotional journey for the people of Tamil Nadu. The last 11 days was spent by many praying, hoping and praying that M. Karunanidhi recovers from his ill health, but that was not to be. He passed away yesterday at around 6:10 p.m. at the age of 94. For the people of Tamil Nadu, it is particularly important because he's not just a politician, he's one of the last personalities in the state of Tamil Nadu who enjoys a hold over the masses, who can command respect among the masses irrespective of what the political situation is. In the last 2 decades, we have seen pretty much power shifting from the DMK and the AIA-DMK in the alternate terms, except for in 2016. But that has in no way diminished the stature of M. Karunanidhi, and that will be the concern for the DMK as well. Unlike the AIA-DMK, the DMK has a second rung of leaders. M.K. Stalin has been the working president ever since Karunanidhi had withdrawn from active politics, but none of them have enjoyed the kind of mass hold over the people of Tamil Nadu. And with Karunanidhi, probably the entire culture of demigod-like statuses given to the politicians in the state has also come to an end, and probably it's the not just the end of an era for Tamil Nadu, it's also a beginning of a new style of politics that are expected to be. There are a lot of small players now. You have the DMK without Karunanidhi. Now you have the AIADMK, which is a split house. You have TTV Dinakaran, whose aspirations are soaring high. You also have new players like Rajnikant as well as Kamal Hassan, who want to make a mark in Tamil Nadu politics, claiming to want to make a change. You also have the national parties eyeing the opportunity of not having a very strong face right now in Tamil Nadu. So yes, politics gets interesting. So what is the future of Tamil Nadu is the big question mark. Every time AIADMK failed upon people looked at DMK and vice versa. So now that there is no Jayalalitha, there is no M. Karunanidhi, what will be the next step for Tamil Nadu politics will be the question on the people's mind.
You stay with me. You stay with me, Nishchita. I'm also joined by Krishna Kumar from Newsroom. Krishna, my question to you is that the fusion of culture, politics and cinema in Tamil Nadu is known. But the fact of the matter is that the sort of hero worship is something very particular to the Tamil, I would say, politics. And it acquires a larger-than-life proportion. Why?
It is simply because Kartikeya, at a time when national political parties, namely the Congress party, was the only political party in Tamil Nadu. And when the self-respect movement of the Dravida Kazhagam, or the Dravidian party, began, it was essentially to push out national parties from entering the scene. And then these politicians, the local politicians who went on to make Tamil Nadu, the state of Tamil Nadu, a bastion of Dravidian politics, were seen as heroes because they were up against the stalwarts of the Congress party at once upon a time. And it was men like Karunanidhi, Annadurai, who were able to fend off the Congress party and keep Tamil Nadu within the folds of the Dravidian politics. And that is the reason why every single Dravidian leader, not just Karunanidhi, it could be MGR, Karunanidhi, Annadurai, all of them have a larger-than-life image, larger-than-life following in Tamil Nadu, and every single time one of them has passed away, the scenes are very similar to the ones that are there on the screens at this point in time. A lengthy funeral procession that eventually ends in the iconic Marina Beach of Chennai city. And as you've been telling the viewers, be it Annadurai or be it MGR or Jayalalitha, all of their memorials are along this Marina Beach, one of the longest coastlines in Asia, Kartikeya, and it has now become a hub for memorials. And now comes the fourth memorial in the form of Karunanidhi's memorial, which the Madras High Court today allowed to be built. And to your question, also, apart from the fact that there's political meanings to it, it is that all of them came from the film industry. And films and big screens, you can imagine the kind of impact it has on other parts of the country as well.
Krishna, if you look at the people who are there, who's of Indian politics is there.
Yeah.
From Rahul Gandhi to Derek, who represents Mamata Banerjee. Now, can we say that there is a political vacuum in Tamil Nadu? In a state, there's a complete generation shift which has been effected after Jayalalitha and Karunanidhi exiting the political stage?
Absolutely right on over there, Kartikeya. It's a huge political vacuum because it was only in 2016 that Jayalalitha, the one single head of the ADMK party, passed away. And now with Karunanidhi passing away, the huge legacy of Dravidian politics and in fact vendetta politics between Karunanidhi and Jayalalitha goes away. What it does when it goes away is that it gives a huge leadership vacuum in Tamil Nadu politics that is next to impossible to be filled up immediately. It will take time, Kartikeya. These are the beginnings of a huge churn in the Tamil Nadu political scenario.
Thank you. Thank you, Krishna, and thank you, Nishchita, for joining me from Chennai. So this is the moving story. We'll come back when the procession actually arrives at the Marina Beach, where the last rites will be conducted. We'll again cut back to it. These are the visuals streaming live from Marina Beach, and this is the place where the last rites will be conducted. Very soon, the procession is going to reach this place, and we will cut across once the procession arrives there. You can see the whole political pantheon of the Indian political circle Indian political establishment is in Chennai today. Every political party has sent a person to represent their party. This is something very unique to the politics of Tamil Nadu. Just to remind our viewers that this is not the first. Annadurai, the founder of this movement, J. Jayalalitha, MGR, a very powerful and a popular Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu. They all had their memorials there, and now Karunanidhi's last rites will be conducted there. The memorial will be here, and the matter became sub judice. The ruling government did not give permission, and now when the permission came, everything went on smoothly. So it's sort of a new shift and a place in Tamil politics. We will go across again to a big story from the state of Tamil Nadu in India, where the body of former Chief Minister Karunanidhi has arrived. This is Marina Beach, where the last rites are being performed. The political leaders have all come to this place. This will be the fourth such memorial in Chennai, especially at the Marina Beach. The whole matter had become sub judice yesterday night. Annadurai, J. Jayalalitha, MGR, their memorials have been built. And now, after the matter reached the Madras High Court, where the state government was opposed to a creation of a memorial for Karunanidhi there, the High Court gave the go-ahead, and now we are cutting across those visuals. Every political party, the leaders, they are there. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was there in afternoon. Rahul Gandhi, Derek O'Brien, the estranged brother of M.K. Stalin, Aligari, Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Chandrababu Naidu, all in person. Present at Marina Beach. These are the rituals which are part and parcel of the Dravidian culture. In some form or other, they are practiced in southern India. Burial is a practice which is part and parcel of Dravidian culture, which is again a part or subsect of Hinduism, but opposed to the Vedic or the Brahminical worldview of Hinduism. Even in Parliament today, the houses were adjourned, though Karunanidhi never was a member of Parliament, but out of respect for his seniority, both houses of the Parliament were adjourned. Karunanidhi had a long checkered career. He was born in 1924 at the age of 32 when he went on to become the MLA. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister. Today, Narendra Modi is the Prime Minister. He became Chief Minister in 1969. He was part of the Annadurai's party. And this is the Guard of Honor. And when DMK came to power in 1967, it heralded a new age in the Tamil politics. It ended the hegemony of Congress party, which was in power from 1952. And the whole movement was self-respect movement, which was launched by Annadurai and Karunanidhi. He has ups and downs in the career. He introduced MGR to politics, but MGR became even more famous politician than Karunanidhi. Because of MG Ramachandran, Karunanidhi actually had to be out of power for 13 straight years. And not only that, Karunanidhi even had to fend off a rivalry which continued in form of Jayalalitha, who was MGR's protege. So Karunanidhi saw a long inning in Tamil Nadu. He remained president of DMK for straight 50 years, a record in itself. He wrote scripts for 70 films. He wrote 100 books. He was known as a poet, writer, politician in Tamil Nadu. He was known for speaking classical Tamil in public life, which ordinarily even people in day-to-day conversation don't speak, which is slightly lyrical in nature. It has created a power vacuum in the state because the older politicians of 50s, 40s and 60s do not dominate. It has created an open play field for new players like Selvam, Rajnikant, Kamal Hassan and others. And the wreath laying has started. The political leaders are laying the wreath. For example, you can see Veerappa Moily, former law minister. Behind Veerappa Moily is Rahul Gandhi. So once that is done, then the burial ceremony will start. Chief Minister of Puducherry, Chandrababu Naidu, Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, the political leaders from Tamil Nadu, they are also there. It's an important moment in the politics of Tamil Nadu where leaders who are both junior to Karunanidhi and Jayalalitha will be the prime players for the first time. Karunanidhi was born in 1924. He entered politics when he was 17 years old. Now, H.D. Devagowda, the former Prime Minister of India, former Chief Minister of Karnataka, also present. Tamil Nadu's politics is very distinct from politics in other part of the country for simple reason. Leader has a huge fan following. There's a sort of a merger of cinematic appeal and political action. People associated with cinema have found place in political life. Cinema has been used as a tool for change. Strong social messages are given through cinema. That is why you find Rajnikant and Kamal Hassan joining the politics. Fan clubs are as important as various organizations within the larger political body. This also brings together two brothers, Aligarhi and Stalin, together after a long time. Aligarhi was expelled from party. The compromise was that Aligarhi will do the politics of centre and Stalin would stay in Chennai. And just for this very reason, Aligarhi in 2009 UPA 2 went on to become the cabinet minister. But then the brothers fought and Aligarhi was removed from party, was expelled from party. And now let me go across to my colleague Nishchita. Nishchita, the final, the replaying has been done. Now, it's a matter of another 5 or 10 minutes, Nishchita, for the final rites to begin.
Absolutely, Kartikeya. Just a few minutes from now, M. Karunanidhi will be laid to rest. But considering he's an atheist, self-proclaimed atheist who has lived his life on the ideals of rationalism that he learned from none other than Periyar himself, not too many Hindu rituals will be followed in this final rite, is what is being stated. Although Tamil Nadu as a state is a very religious state, they believe in religion and religious rituals, but their political ideology, particularly their two major parties of AIADMK as well as the DMK, are built on rationalistic principles, often criticizing the Brahminical rituals, and something that they have spoken out openly against. So it might not really take too much time after the state honors have been accorded to M. Karunanidhi, and shortly he will be laid to rest. Something that he had wanted to be laid to rest right next to his mentor on the Marina Beach. This is the Annadurai Memorial on Marina Beach, and a portion of it has been given out for M. Karunanidhi, who has been the person who took forward his ideologies, his thoughts, his ideas forward, and not just a few years forward, but a good 15 years he governed the party that was started by Annadurai, and a rightful end to a life that was led in a wholesome manner by M. Karunanidhi as a politician, as a writer, as an artist, as an orator, as someone who championed the cause of the backward classes. He spoke about a new plethora of social welfare schemes, and you can see the kind of popularity that he enjoys even today, where people have thronged in large numbers. He's 94 years old, but you can easily say that the average age of the crowds that thronged today was somewhere in his 30s. Even the youngest of people were seen on the streets as they wanted to bid adieu to M. Karunanidhi. And in a few minutes from now, he will be laid to rest. Teary-eyed family members there, M.K. Stalin, his son who he had trained and whose path he had paved the way for as far as politics goes, has huge shoes to fill and a fairly intimidating challenge before him to revive DMK and to bring it to a position that Karunanidhi had once held it in. And that seems to be the common consensus among the people here. But no one can deny the emotional factor involved in bidding adieu to M. Karunanidhi, one of the tallest leaders of Tamil Nadu and the last demigod-like status, last leader who enjoyed the demigod-like status in Tamil Nadu. And he has been given state honor now, and he will be laid to rest shortly, Kartikeya.
You stay with me, Nishchita. You stay with me. I'll come to you now. M.K. Stalin had arrived near the casket. The national flag has been folded and removed. It has been handed over to the officer in charge. But, you know, Nishchita, coming to you, every political leader of any political standing was present in Chennai. It just goes on to show how much political heft and respect which Karunanidhi enjoyed.
Absolutely. Cutting across party lines, people have come in to pay their last respects. Be it the local political parties, be it the AIADMK or the DMDK or any of the other parties, or be it national parties, BJP and Congress, or regional parties cutting across states, be it Pinarayi Vijayan, who is the Kerala Chief Minister who came in, H.D. Kumaraswamy, Karnataka CM who came in. There was not one person who did not want to attend this ceremony and pay their last respects for M. Karunanidhi, because he transcended the boundaries of being a mere politician. Of course, he was believed to be a very, very wily politician, someone who stitched what seemed like the most impossible coalition.
I just try to interrupt you for a minute, Nishchita. Now, Aligari is also here. You know, in death, the family has come together. Both the brothers have fought against each other, and he was expelled from the party. So, Aligari was minister in 2009 in UPA 2. So, his family is also here. And next in line is Kanimoy.
That's right. Alagiri has also come in to pay his last respects. As we know, in the last few years, the relationship that M. Karunanidhi shared with his older son Alagiri had been fairly tumultuous, and Alagiri had openly revolted, and in 2014 he was dismissed from the party, thereby effectively paving way for M.K. Stalin to come in and take over the party of DMK, the Dravida Muneta Karagam. But speculations are also rife, and it is very possible at the moment that Alagiri might want to stake claim to the party again. He is someone who had effectively worked in the southern part of Tamil Nadu before he was moved to Delhi by M. Karunanidhi as an MP, and he would want to reclaim that territory. He would want to tap his authority in local politics and not just remain an MP as he has been all these years. But considering the fact that M. Karunanidhi always put his weight behind Stalin, always supported Stalin when it comes to state politics, helped him learn the tactics and the tenets of state politics, it's very unlikely that Alagiri will be able to do much damage to M.K. Stalin's prospects. But having said that, M.K. Stalin has a bigger challenge before him already. He needs to fill into M. Karunanidhi's shoes. Despite not being in active politics in the last few years, M. Karunanidhi still managed to hold a tight ship of the DMK. For 50 years, he was the president of the DMK, was the unchallenged president of the DMK. And he is someone who managed to hold on to his vote base despite the corruption allegations, despite the diminishing of the Dravidian movement, despite the dilution of the Dravidian ideology that transcended into Tamil nationalism itself. So M.K. Stalin has to meet that expectation. So far, he only seems like someone who has been entitled to the position of the party president. He's the working president as of now. So for him to go ahead and prove that he is capable of holding DMK together, especially when Tamil Nadu politics is itself going through a tumultuous phase, a rocky phase, it will be interesting to see what M.K. Stalin does and what sort of challenge he faces from within his party, within his own family members, like his brother Alagiri.
Nishchita, stay with me just to inform our viewers that this is the final step of the last rites. Now, these are the family members, the politicians that had come, the Marans, Aligari, Stalin, the whole extended family of Karunanidhi. In a couple of minutes, the ritual will start, but as my colleague was saying, that these rituals will be different, These will not be the standard rituals because they were all part and parcel of a movement which was anti-Brahminical in nature. They did not believe that, certain practices which are age-old should be done, and this was part of the self-respect movement. So the personal conviction not only embedded itself in political activism and policy in Tamil Nadu, but will also be reflected in the ritual which we are going to see, which is going to be very plain and very, very simple without the sort of detailing which we see in general. So, this is an end of an era in Tamil Nadu. It's a big state. Tamil Nadu and Puducherry together, they have 40 Lok Sabha seats. They have an important say in the politics of centre. They become very important in case you have a fractured mandate, and Tamil Nadu will play a very important role again in 2019 in case the mandate is fractured or in case the parties don't get full or a simple majority. Nishchita, does that create a space for Rajnikant and Kamal Haasan now?
Kamal Haasan would sure hope so, because as it has been reiterated umpteen number of times in the last few days, ever since M. Karunanidhi fell ill, that he is the last of the leaders who enjoyed that status among the people. He's the last of the leaders who had made some breakthrough changes, not just with his ideology, not just with upholding Tamil culture, but also looking at social issues. He had focused on lifting the backward classes. He had focused on bringing in equality in the administrative system, not just with the backward classes and the upper caste, but also with women. He's the one who brought in reservation for women. He's the one who removed inhumane practices like rickshaw pulling. He had banned it. He's the one who had even named Madras as Tamil Nadu. It was under his governance that the state was named as Tamil Nadu. So he was known for something more than just politics, as a mere politician. And today Tamil Nadu lacks that personality, especially for a state who has always rallied behind personalities like M. Karunanidhi, J. Jayalalitha, MGR, Annadurai, all larger-than-life personalities, and all of them had connections with the film industry where they used the film industry to put forth their political ideology, to build that image before entering public life. But while Rajnikant and Kamal Haasan would hope that that sentiment still prevails among the people of the state, it is different now. One would say that the people are a lot more mature now on one hand, and on the other hand, Rajnikant and Kamal Haasan might have entered politics at a much later stage. Karunanidhi has been in active political life since he was 14 years old. He, for nearly 6 decades, he was an administrator, and he has not lost a single election out of the 13 that he has contested. Similar is the case with all the other leaders like Jayalalitha and MGR. So can they really replace them? It's highly unlikely, but there is a vacuum that has been created that they would like to capitalize on.
Thank you, Rishita. Thank you for this update. And let's straight away cut across to Chennai, where the last rites have commenced. So now the burial ceremony has started. The last rites have commenced. The formalities are over. The wreath laying is over. The flower laying ceremony is over. Most of the formalities, the political formality, the personal formality, they are over. Now this is the last part of it. You know, when the burial ceremony begins. You can see this is with full state honors. So it's part and parcel of the state honor. State honor means that armed forces or the security forces become part of it. It's a protocol which is followed. The burial takes place in a certain way. Now you can see that the casket is being lifted. The brothers are together. The casket is being removed from the podium where it was kept. There are a lot of people there, so you know the visuals aren't clear, but so the casket has been taken to the spot. Where the burial will be taken in, and the lines, and the body has been placed in the wooden casket. The words which Karunanidhi wanted, working tirelessly till last minute, has been imprinted on that wooden casket. That's the last respect being paid by the sons. And now the casket is being lifted by and the body will be placed inside the casket. And now the body has been placed inside the casket. You can see Aligarh in a picture. M.K. Stalin is standing beside him. Now the casket will be these are the last few minutes. The casket will be closed. My colleague Nishchita Virendra is also there. I'm going to go to her. But just describing the visuals to our viewers. The place where the last rites are taking place is the Marina Beach. 3 memorials are already there. The casket is being closed now. And let me go across to my colleague Nishita. Nishita, just describe to us as to what's happening there right now.
Well, the last few family members are coming in and paying their last respects. Of course, you had the entire process after the state honors. You had the family members using flowers to pay their last respects, just saluting one last time to M. Karunanidhi before he is laid to rest. You can see the Maran brothers, Kanimori, Alagiri, as well as M.K. Stalin among the other prominent names of the DMK. And shortly he will be laid to rest. As we saw, there were none of the religious rituals that are usually followed in a funeral ceremony in India. And he was just placed, his mortal remains were placed in a casket. They offered their prayers. They used a little bit of flowers to express their emotions. And finally, he will be laid to rest. Now the coffin is being closed, and there is an inscription on the lid that said that he was a leader.
Okay.
And shortly now, it will the coffin will be laid in the earth. There was a ceremonial digging that was held even before the procession started from the Rajaji Hall. And shortly from now, once the family members are ready and once the family members are done paying their last respects, are done bidding adieu to M. Karunanidhi, someone who has shaped their lives, someone who has given direction to not just the party and the family, but to the state with his policies, with his ideology, with his art, with his cinema, is being laid to rest there. M.K. Stalin, who is visibly extremely emotional, breaking down every now and then. M.K. Alagiri, their two other family members, uncontrollably sobbing as M. Karunanidhi will be laid to rest shortly, unable to let go. He was 94 years old, and after he fell ill, right around the time when J. Lalita passed away in Tamil Nadu, he never really entirely recovered from the illness. He underwent a tracheectomy, and he lost his voice, his deep baritone voice that he was known for, and he slowly faded out of political life. Earlier this year, M.K. Stalin took over as the working president of the party after holding the treasurer's post for several years. And now M. Karunanidhi is no more, and the moment has come when the family members will have to bid adieu to his mortal remains as well.
Yes. Yes. Go on, Nishita.
And these are just the final moments of that one is getting to witness. A few of the close friends are also allowed inside the Marina Beach Anna Durai Memorial, where these last ceremonies, if we may call them ceremonies, are being conducted, Kartikeya.
You know, these are the last few moments before the burial ceremony begins. You can see Karunanidhi straight in the picture, the Marans, Aligari, children, M.K. Stalin's children, Kanimuri, they are all part of the frame. Very soon the casket will be closed. Very close family, personal friends, immediate family is there. The casket will be closed, and once this is done, you know, this is what will happen, and the casket would be lowered in the earth. You know, once very emotional M.K. Stalin at this moment. Someone who has been raised by Karunanidhi as his political heir. In fact, M.K. Stalin also has a long checkered career. He was arrested during 75-77. So Stalin has been a long player. Stalin has its own contribution in building DMK, and Stalin will have the tremendous responsibility of resurrecting DMK, both in context of the assembly elections and Lok Sabha elections, because last time around J. Lalita staged a comeback, not only she consolidated herself. She was able to get the second tenure, which generally does not happen in Tamil Nadu's politics. Something which only MGR could do. So Jayalalitha defeated DMK twice. So the Stalin, in absence of political players, will have to resurrect the party. So it's time for a short break. We'll be back with more news and we'll be focused on this. Stay tuned. Now, some good news on the economy front. International Monetary Fund, or IMF, has said India's economy is picking up and growth prospects look bright. The global monetary body says that the uptick in economy is partly thanks to the implementation of policies such as goods and service tax. However, IMF also cautioned that India will need to build on the success of its reforms to sustain rapid growth and raise income of its 1.3 billion people. The IMF also had a word of advice for the Reserve Bank of India. It says, the Reserve Bank of India will need to gradually tighten monetary policy further due to rising inflation, which is driven mainly by higher oil prices and a falling rupee. Job creation had become a political hot potato in India. The IMF says India needs to improve labour market regulation as numerous outdated laws prevent firms from expanding businesses. This is the IMF which says that what the economic activity requires, and the observation is that the informal parts of the economy also needs to be re-strengthened. IMF India's head Ranil Salgado also says that India must reduce trade documentation on requirements and improve governance to attract more foreign investments. And I'm joined by my colleague Sumit Chaturvedi. Sumit, tell us, well, it's a good uptake, it's the right noise being made by an international agency, but is the observation about existing trade regulations which is not conducive for a business opportunity correct?
Well, that's not correct, Karthikeya, here, because it's a different thing altogether. What we are talking about here is economy, and IMF has clearly given a thumbs up to Indian economy, though there are certain concerns which are looming large over Indian economy as well. Overall, the steps of IBC, which is Insolvency and Banking Act, and on the other hand, GST, these have been lauded. And overall economic reforms in India, the steps which have been taken recently have been given a thumbs up. Overall, it's been now said that India is the elephant that is going to run. The economy is an elephant, in fact, which is going to run very fast very soon. Overall, this gives a very good picture about the economy. Yes, there are concerns which are looming large. India has recently taken over France as the world's largest economy. On a PPP basis, it may not be as big as France, but yes, in the size, it has overtaken France. In UK, it will overtake. In UK also, it will be overtaking very soon. So overall, it looks like overall the reforms initiatives taken by the current government, has been actually given very good response.